Are you in mourning after yesterday's debacle? I saw your tweet. Took it pretty hard.
It's frustrating, you know. Yeah, I guess I know how fans feel now when we lose, but um, yeah, it's another year, same story. So I got nothing much to say on it other than that.
I was gonna say you're the type of guy that will throw a remote control.
No, I got a brother-in-law like that. I think 17-0. He took off from where he was watching the game, so I stuck it out at least. I gave him the full game, but um, a little more composure.
Is it worse that Houston won this weekend?
No, I think I kind of root for Texas in general, but I don't really see them as like rivals or anything like that. So
The Philly wins tonight,
yeah, Philly I wouldn't like that too much. I got a slight allegiance to Tampa, I guess. From they won when I was down there, so I got to be part of that. So anyway.
About a month ago, I asked you about leading this team in scoring, and you were like, I don't know, I'm surprised. Are you now exceeding your own expectations a little bit?
I don't know. I haven't really kind of zoomed out. I'm just kind of one day at a time right now, and you know things have been going in, which is nice, but I just want to make sure I stay focused on just making sure my game is where I want it to be, and there's been games during the stretch that I haven't been happy with, and my goal is to make sure those are few and far between. So the points and the recognition are nice to get, when you're not accustomed to getting it or hearing about it from people very often, but you don't want to lose sight of what makes you the player you are. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
It's not like the puck feels any different coming off your stick.
Well, confidence in general is a big thing in this league, and that's why guys there's a lot of guys that go on streaks. They score a lot and things feel good, and that's why guys have career years and things like that. I think the more confidence you have in just your all-around game, the more likely you are to keep things like this going. And and it certainly helps that our team's playing well. Everybody's playing well. So it's not just me going. We got a lot of guys that are really producing and playing good hockey for us right now, and that's what we've always said all year. That's going to be our recipe to win, and that's why we have been winning.
Like, I know you've spent some time on the power play in the past, but what does that responsibility mean to you, and just the idea of being part of a group that's really starting to seem like they're you're building something on both units right now?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get that bump and be acknowledged to go out there and play on the power play. And I've had some experience with it in the past, but for whatever reasons, I just haven't had much time on it here in Calgary. And it's nice to be back in that position and be trusted with that role. And power plays can make or break games for your team. So anything that I can add in value, whether it's something as simple as puck retrievals or just being hard on pucks in the zone to make sure we keep possession. I think things like that can go a long way. So I feel like we've been getting better and better, and we need to continue to improve to keep winning games.
When you're on the power play, are you reading defenses differently just because of your proficiency, on the penalty kill?
You see things, I think, I think you're used to what works against you on a kill, and it certainly helps to have both sides of that acumen. I think, when you're playing guys or have played with guys who have elite skill and make certain plays, you kind of learn off that, and I know it's beaten me in the past, so if I can help talk through it with guys, which is a positive. I think guys are open to communicating with each other and trying to find what works. So we've taken a little bit of that, and like I said, things are starting to get better and better.
Earlier in the season, you guys just kept coming back. It was like third period, come back, after third period, come back. And you guys would say, like, yeah, it's not really what we want, though. And now it feels like you guys are getting off to these really, really strong starts. Like, what's changed there?
Nothing. It's just a matter of time. I think I said it back then, too. It's a long year. At some point, we were going to start scoring first. And, it was nice to know that we have it in our back pocket now that we can come back in games. But it wasn't the recipe for long-term success. And you look at, especially on the road, you look at the wins we've had recently, and it's been great starts and being able to keep teams down and not let them back into games. So nothing specifically changes, just better starts. And I guess you could chalk it up on the last trip to the Dads, but I think even the trip before that, the first 2 wins on that trip were great starts as well. So, we're making strides, and those improvements are needed.
Do you feel like that the team understands this formula of how you've got to win now, maybe more than in the previous few weeks of the season?
I just think, the urgency's been great. I think, we never panicked in this room. It's just at some point you got to start going on a run, and we've set ourselves up with a really great opportunity to do that with 6 home games in a row, going into a break, and it falls on us. We got to take advantage of this. Don't let that road trip go to waste. And I think now that you're past the midway point, I think it kind of clicks in your head. All right, there's not much time to keep playing this up and down game, and we gotta find ways to just keep pushing forward.
A few days ago, Ryan Huska mentioned a phone call he had with Jacob Markstrom to check with him in the summer, and he remarked at how edgy he was and how he looked back at last year and he took accountability for everything. And Ryan had mentioned that he's not surprised that he's kind of come into this year as a different person. I was just curious if you remember the first time you had seen Jacob at training camp after everything had happened last year, and if you've remarked that he's been different, or what have been your impressions of Jacob just as a personality after everything he's endured last year?
Well, I think we all know how competitive he is. I think he might have had a record-breaking sticks over crossbars last year because he wants to win, he wants to compete. That's who he is. But I think he's just come in a lot calmer this year, and his composure is kind of, I've talked about it a little bit, but it's gone through the room. And when he's playing that composed game, and he looks so confident back there, and you don't really see him get rattled like he did last year. And I think it's a big part of why he's playing so well. He's so dialed in every night. You can see he's tracking the puck well. He feels good. I don't know if it's just the whole dad thing, and he's, I know for me that was a big part of, even now, there's just a lot more to life than the game, and sometimes that takes a little bit of that pressure off you, and you don't worry as much about making mistakes, and that's when you're at your best. So I can speak on that personally. I can't say that for him, but it certainly looks like he's in a really great place.